Um, wala akong masyadong alam tungkol sa student council kasi at the very best, tumutulong lang ako sa org ko, wala na akong alam sa Sanggu kasi wala naman akong nakukuha ang balita doon. Masyado. Yun.
Sanggunian has given us lots of donations and we super appreciate them, but then we're looking for a different kind of involvement, a deeper kind of involvement, because in the sector-based cluster we really value the presence of our volunteers.
I think student politics should focus first and foremost on the students.
I think one thing that Sanggu needs is better information dissemination so that people know more immediately or what's happening and what they're doing, because I'm pretty sure they're doing stuff.
What they can improve on is encouraging people to step up and be active sa Sanggu. So maybe that's one thing they have to look into, bakit kumukonti na lang yung mga tumatakbo. Yun.
I hope that Sanggu is able to nourish a healthier environment for political parties to thrive. So we can have at least, kumbaga, if political parties can thrive, it will mean that we will have more politically motivated candidates.
I do feel Sanggu's presence in a way, and maybe that's partly because I'm part of Sanggu now as a block representative. But I still have to admit, whether Sanggu will be present or not, the school would still run its own course. So I have to feel that the Sanggu has established itself as a total political governing body. Though it works with the administration and the COA, it has established itself as something independent that will truly address what the student population needs.
Feeling ko yung maganda sa Sanggu this year is that sobrang na-address yung mga national issues, katulad nung sa kasiguruan farmers, yung kay Jesse Robredo, parang dinala ng Sanggu yung national politics sa loob ng school. Pero I guess yung isa sa weaknesses ng Sanggu, feeling ko is especially relevant to performing arts cluster o to the theater. I guess it's the lack of support for the arts, na parang nakukulangan ako ng parang lobbying for siguro sa administration ng mga subsidies or ng mga projects for the arts, or kahit man lang yung ma-recognize yung ginagawa ng mga students sa arts as something na pwedeng equivalent sa academics nila or something like that.
I honestly think that it would be great if the Ateneo has a greater sense of community.
Well, siguro for me, my assessment of the Sanggu is a little bit shaky. Hindi sa alam kung wala silang ginagawa. Hindi ko lang din sila siguro naramdaman as an athlete and as a student. But I know they're there, na they're trying their best to accommodate the student population. And of course, hindi mahirap din gawin yan kasi iba-ibang tao, iba-iba rin ang gusto nila.
My problem with the Sanggunian as an institution, I think, is the fact that it needs more authority. For instance, I think it's common among the different parties that they want to please the student body by saying that, you know, the Sanggunian is not there to impede on what your organization does. We want you to focus on what you really love doing. But I think if we really want the student body to see or recognize the authority that the Sanggunian should have, it should be able to grasp that.
This year, I think they've been much more visible. They've been much more proactive na, especially with the habagat season. I think a lot of people can attest to their major role in it, in helping out. Well, I hope they just continue that, because I mean, it's important that the student body has something that will allow them to interact with outside the walls of the Ateneo, even if they don't really know how. Parang the Sanggu can provide that avenue.
Being from COA, we don't really get to know like the processes of Sanggu. Like we only know what happens in COA.
Well, for the performing arts cluster, I believe that all the art-related groups should be more united and we should have stronger ties, and the body that should actually gather all those groups is Sanggu, but the thing is we don't actually feel it, or nor do we see any efforts from them.
There have been talks about this new building supposedly for the arts, like a performance building or whatsoever, so maybe they could also help intervene in terms of getting support for us performing organizations, like making sure that we will have a rehearsal space there, especially since that's the main issue for us performers, is getting a
Rehearsal venue.
getting a venue for rehearsals for our shows. So, well, if Sanggu can help us in any way in getting even just a venue, that really goes a long way with helping the performing artists.
Sobrang sad ako na may mga ganun pangyayari na nauuna pa yung mga mag-aaral na gumawa ng pagkilos bago mismo yung kailang Sanggu.